The vulnerability of being seen for the first time in my most raw form was both terrifying and liberating. You were the first to witness me without any masks, and that moment still resonates with me in ways words cannot fully capture. The feeling of being exposed in front of you with nothing to hide is something I'll never forget. It's a beautiful mix of fear and trust. In that moment, when you saw me naked, I felt more seen and understood than I ever thought possible. The first time you saw me naked, I wondered if you would still love me the same. Now, I realize it only deepened the connection between us. Being naked in front of someone for the first time isn't just about physical exposure. It's the emotional vulnerability that stays with you. When you saw me naked, it was as though you saw every part of my soul, and I couldn't help but be afraid and amazed at the same time. There was a unique magic in that first moment when we were both unguarded, and it changed me forever. You were the first to witness me fully, to see me without barriers, and it made me feel more alive than ever. At that moment when you saw me naked, I wasn't just shedding my clothes. I was shedding my fears and insecurities. Naked in front of you, I was no longer hiding behind a facade. That honesty felt both scary and freeing. The first time you saw me naked, I realized how much I trust you and how much I still have to learn about vulnerability. That first glimpse of me, unguarded and raw, made me realize how precious it is to let someone in so deeply. There was something indescribable about the way you looked at me when I was completely exposed. It felt like being seen for the first time. You were the first person to see me naked, and with that, you held a piece of me I didn't even know existed. That moment when I stood before you, bare in body and soul, was a turning point in how I view intimacy. I thought being naked in front of you would be awkward, but instead, it felt like I was truly being myself for the first time. The way you looked at me when I was naked showed me how deeply you cared, far beyond what I had ever imagined. Being the first person to see me naked wasn't just about seeing my body, it was about understanding my essence. That first time you saw me naked made me realize how much power there is in allowing someone to see you without your walls. It was like I was an open book, and you were the first person to read the pages that had been kept hidden. In that moment, when you saw me naked, I understood how much trust and connection can grow in the most unexpected ways. You were the first person to see me without the masks I wear. It was both terrifying and beautiful. When you saw me naked, I realized how vulnerable love can make us, yet also how strong it can be. That moment when I was seen by you, stripped of all pretenses, made me understand the power of being truly known. I never imagined how much vulnerability could feel like strength until the moment you saw me naked. Being exposed in front of you for the first time was one of the most intimate experiences I've ever had. When you saw me naked, I felt completely exposed, but in the best way possible, free from judgment and filled with trust. That first time we shared that space together with nothing hidden was an unspoken bond we'll always carry. The moment you saw me naked, I wasn't just giving you my body, but a piece of my heart as well. Being naked in front of you made me realize that true intimacy is so much more than physical. It's the soul's exposure. It wasn't just my body that was exposed when you saw me naked. It was my emotions, my trust, my vulnerability. When you saw me naked, I didn't just feel vulnerable. I felt empowered in the simplicity of letting you see me fully. That moment when you first saw me naked was a test of trust, and we both passed it beautifully. You were the first to see me in such a vulnerable state, and yet you treated me with such care that it deepened our connection. Seeing each other for the first time without any barriers was both a moment of fear and unparalleled closeness. The rawness of that moment when you saw me naked is something I'll carry with me forever. Being seen by you like that for the first time made me feel like we had reached a new level of closeness and understanding. You were the first to see me in my most natural state, and it made me realize how rare and precious such trust is. When you saw me naked, I realized how deeply we can connect when we allow ourselves to be fully open. In that moment, I felt both vulnerable and incredibly loved, something I never thought would be possible. The first time you saw me naked was a reminder that love is about accepting each other at our most raw and authentic. It was an unexpected feeling when you first saw me naked, both the fear of exposure and the thrill of being completely real with you.